starts now.
We begin tonight with shocking video showing a Phoenix woman getting hit by a car that then takes off. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us. For 12 News at 10, I'm Kariba Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Thanks for joining us. The woman believes the driver hit her on purpose, and now she wants that person behind bars.
12 News journalist Chase Golightly spoke with that woman and her mother tonight, and we do have a warning for our viewers. This video may be hard to watch.
Terrified me. I literally thought I was going to die.
Patricia Talipont never saw it coming.
The car hit me so fast.
She was at a laundromat near Fillmore Street and 35th Avenue back in June, hanging out by her car before heading in. She says she didn't even hear the driver start the car when all of a sudden,
I just feel a car backing into me, like at full speed and screaming so loud.
the male driver and his female passenger then take off as she screams for help, enduring the worst pain she's ever felt.
It actually felt like my leg was on fire.
Talipont says she started bleeding from her leg after the hit, rushed to the hospital where she underwent 2 surgeries.
Broken artery, a cracked leg, and a few cracks in my knees.
Saying it took her more than a month to start walking again. While time has passed, she says it's hard for her to watch the security camera footage that captured it all, especially for her mother, Shirlene Yazzie.
Very shocked, hurt. Why? Again, just a word. And afterwards, angry.
Both believe the driver behind this planned it.
This was intentional. This was no accident.
Talipont says she doesn't know who the driver is and has never spoken with him, wondering why he or anyone would do this.
Why the hell are you doing this? What happened? What did I do?
Phoenix police tell 12 News they have obtained the security camera footage and believe they've identified the driver, submitting charges to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office.
I am actually lucky to be alive. I'm just trying to stop these people from doing it again.
Talipont and her mom wanting the driver responsible for this whole incident to be behind bars as soon as possible.
I want justice for my daughter. And if it was you in my shoes, I'm sure you would want the same thing.
Before this happens again.
What if next time they do this? That person's not going to be lucky. What if it's a child?
In Phoenix, Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Chase, thanks. Turning to our weather impact forecast as we wrap up what's been a pretty good week for monsoon storm activity. We really needed the moisture. Hopefully at some point in the near future we'll get more. Meteorologist Lindsay Riley is here, and lots of rain the last 2 nights. Anything lighting up on the radar tonight?
Well, it's outside of the valley, so it did not materialize for the valley tonight. We were trying to see if we had any outflow boundaries from the earlier storms to spin off new storms, but it just didn't happen. So here's the latest radar. There's a little bit of activity south and east of Casa Grande right now. Most active part of the state right now is actually to our north and west. Just a couple thunderstorms now lifting northeast of Fountain Hills. These are moving toward the rim. They're going to miss Show Low off to the west. But actually some pretty heavy rainfall coming down right now outside of Wickenburg. This is pushing through Prescott up toward the I-40. In fact, there are a couple of flash flood warnings, the boxes in maroon here. Areas like this saw over 1.5 inches of rainfall, and we've been seeing thunderstorms back building over this area for several hours now. So this area did get hard hit tonight, and it continues. Now, as we get through the overnight tomorrow, there will be less storm coverage. Here's the hour by hour, 10 p.m. You can see those storms over Prescott and Yavapai County. Those are going to continue pushing north and east, but by about midnight, notice the coverage really starts to go down, and by 2 o'clock in the morning, the radar is clear. So things are going to steadily improve overnight. And then tomorrow, most of the storms are going to be across far eastern Arizona through the afternoon and then die down at sunset. Caribe.
All right, Lindsay, thank you. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office says that they arrested a paralegal for allegedly trying to smuggle drugs into a county jail. Officials say that Christopher Byers submitted paperwork for an inmate at the 4th Avenue Jail yesterday. Jail staff inspected the papers after noticing that they were discolored, and they ended up testing positive for synthetic drugs. MCSO then sent a canine around the jail and ended up finding more papers that had been laced. The investigation is ongoing tonight.
We continue to follow the absolutely heartbreaking investigation into the death of 10-year-old Rebekah Baptiste. 12 News has obtained body cam footage from the Holbrook Police Department. It shows the moments that they responded to the 911 calls that came in from Rebekah's father and his girlfriend, saying that she was unresponsive. As you'll see, it wasn't long before responding officers started to raise red flags about the story the suspects gave. Tonight, 12 News journalist Bianca Bono walks us through the videos, which are very tough to watch.
She was involved in an accident?
No, she ran away. Holbrook police body camera footage showing the actions of officers who tried to save Rebekah Baptiste's life.
What happened, guys?
Ran away,
And
when they found her, this is how she was.
how long?
We don't know.
It's been at least 30 minutes.
It took us like 30 minutes just to get here. On July 27th, officers are seen meeting Richard Baptiste and his girlfriend, Anicia Woods, at the intersection of Highway 177 and Highway 180. They had called 911 after Richard's daughter, Rebekah, was found unresponsive. One officer immediately starts chest compressions.
We got up about 9:30, so it would have been close to 10:30.
So you guys saw her the night before?
Yeah.
Okay.
We all sleep in the same building.
As Rebekah is put into an ambulance and rushed to the hospital, an officer starts asking Baptiste and Woods questions about what happened. They claim their service was bad at their home in Concho, which is why there was a delay in getting the 10-year-old help. They claimed Rebekah had run away that morning and a neighbor found her.
How'd they find her?
They were on quads.
They were on their quads, okay? And then they brought her to you
Yeah.
at your house?
Yeah. Well, it's technically was my great uncle's. He died recently, so we moved in there.
The couple then alleges Rebekah has run away several times in the past month.
The first time she ran away, she told us that she didn't want to live here. She was just trying to leave.
Baptiste tells police he's working on getting full custody of his 3 children. As the officer learns, he has a history with Arizona's Department of Child Safety.
When was the last time you had contact with them?
The case was closed May. End
May of this year?
May of last year.
Last year?
That's when we got our youngest back.
Without being asked, Woods then claims Rebekah has been making up stories about her and Baptiste.
DCS kept having new cases open because Rebekah would go to school and had all these different allegations. And what was becoming alarming to not only her therapist but to the DCS workers was that she started having markings. Like she had bruises on her hands and her arms, and they took pictures and thought Rebekah had told her that we had done it. And it was her way to try to get taken out.
Meantime, another Holbrook officer tries speaking with Rebekah's siblings who are waiting in the car.
Hi, guys.
Each time he starts asking them questions, Baptiste or Woods appears in the window.
And then what happened?
And then she came back home.
Rebekah would ultimately be flown to Phoenix Children's Hospital and died from her injuries on July 30th. Before letting Baptiste and Woods leave for the hospital, one officer informs the Apache County Sheriff's Office about the case, asking them to send investigators to the Baptiste home.
I just wanted to give you guys a heads up as to what is happening.
And Baptiste and Woods are now facing first-degree murder charges. DCS says they are conducting a thorough review of this case. Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thank you. Arizona will once again receive less Colorado River water in 2026 as drought lingers in the West. For the second year, the state will go without 18% of its water allocation. Nevada and Mexico will also receive less than what they are entitled to, while California won't see any cuts because it has senior water rights. Low water levels have caused cutbacks since 2022, and the states are still trying to reach a new long-term agreement.
All eyes on Anchorage, Alaska today as President Trump met with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The two leaders emerged from their meeting optimistic, but very few details were shared about whether a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine could be brokered. Missing from the meeting, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. President Trump and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin coming together for a high-stakes meeting today in Anchorage, Alaska.
We had an extremely productive meeting.
The two world leaders and advisors discussing a variety of issues, including economic matters. But the most critical topic, finding a path to end the Russia-Ukraine war. And while both leaders appeared optimistic, specific details about their discussions were not released.
Russia has its own national interests. I expect that today's agreements will be the starting point, not only for the solution of the Ukrainian issue, but also will help us bring back business-like and pragmatic relations between Russia and the U.S.
It's been nearly 3.5 years since Russia launched a full-scale invasion into Ukraine. This map shows the areas now occupied by Russian forces. Hours before the two leaders met, Russia ramped up missile strikes against Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who was not invited to attend the meeting, said this ahead of the summit.
The war continues. It continues precisely because there is no order, nor any signals from Moscow that is preparing to end this war. They are also killing on the day of the negotiations. And that speaks volumes.
Trump says he'll discuss details of Friday's meeting with members of NATO and Zelensky.
We haven't quite gotten there, but we've made some headway. So there's no deal until there's a deal.
Many European leaders putting pressure on the U.S. to include Ukraine in any decisions that are made to ensure peace.